up of many different people. What differentiates people is also different. Some people have different hair colors, religions, races, beliefs, eye colors, jobs, and even different favorite foods. This is how people find their individuality in themselves, by being able to explore all the different categories of which they fit. However, in some places, people do not get to feel that individuality or even express how their lack of individuality makes them feel. Welcome to Oceania, population of one practically, since everyone is forced to be the same. In the novel The 1984, written by George Orwell, the people of Oceania are not allowed to enjoy the basic pleasures of life, including eating chocolate, drinking coffee, having emotional or physical relationships, or even being entitled to their own thoughts. For all of these reasons, Winston, the main character, believes that he hates the party and Big Brother and tries to rebel against them by having a physical relationship with Julia. By doing so, as well as betraying Julia, when being tortured and after being caught breaking the rules, and also admitting to loving Big Brother. Winston displays the many qualities he shares with the party and Big Brother, whom he believes he despises. Therefore, in attempting to dissociate himself from the party he believes he loathes, Winston demonstrates the similarities he shares with them. Winston tries to rebel from the party, as well as Big Brother, by involving himself with Julia, but it is clear that he does not truly want to be with her to gain true love, confirming his mentality is in fact in line with the party. When Winston is having sex with Julia, the truth was that he, Winston, had no physical sensation, except that of mere contact. All he felt was incredulity and pride. He was glad this was happening, but had no physical desire. Orwell 151. Winston feels happy when he is having sex with Julia solely for the reason that what he is doing is going against the party. However, the reason that the party does not want people having sex is so that they could not enjoy themselves and indulge in an activity that may take away from their love towards Big Brother. Yet, when Winston is sleeping with Julia, he acknowledges that he had no physical desire, which counteracts his attempt at rebellion. He does not enjoy the actual act of having sex with her, which is in fact in line with the party's views on how sex should occur between male and female, which is with no joy. Winston then tells her that he loves her even more for doing such things, sleeping with many men. Julia plus Winston are both rebels who are in love with the fact that each other rebel. Marshall 1. It is illustrated through Marshall's journal that Winston does not truly love Julia. Rather, they both love how each of them are rebels. If Winston did truly love Julia, he would not be happy to know about all of the other men she slept with. But he is happy because he truly believes that he is dissociating himself from the party by being involved with someone who has broken so many rules. The fact that Winston does not actually love Julia and uses her to gain feelings of individualism parallels to the way the party uses the people's obliviousness to condition them to follow all their regulations and unnecessary laws. Conclusion. Therefore, the relationship Winston has with Julia demonstrates the similarity in the party plus Winston himself. Winston betrays Julia when he is being tortured by the party, destroying his emotional bond with her while showing his hateful and fearful qualities that resemble the party's. After being caught with Julia, the thought police arrest him and take him to the Ministry of Love to be tortured. In the Ministry of Love, he hardly thought of Julia. He could not fix his mind on her. He loved her and would not betray her. But that was only a fact, known as he knew the rules of arithmetic. He felt no love for her, and he hardly even wondered what was happening to her. Orwell 289. At the beginning of his imprisonment, he thinks he will not betray Julia, but still admits to the fact that he feels no love for her, even though he has been involved with her physically and emotionally for quite some time. He is able to, under the circumstances, push away all the feelings he ever felt for her, showing that he never did have true enough feelings for her. This is an indication of the lack of true emotion, which is something the party prides themselves on having when it comes to the emotions outside of the love for Big Brother. When Winston's biggest fear, being eaten alive by rats, is right in front of him, he is ready to betray Julia as if she is nothing to him. He pleads that the party members do it to Julia. Do it to Julia! Not me, Julia. I don't care what you do to her. Tear her face off. Strip her to the bones. Not me, Julia, not me. Orwell 362. Winston came to the Ministry of Love prepared to face anything and was willing to give up his life for the rebel movement he thought was occurring. However, when he is faced with his worst fear, rats, he gives up the promise that he made to Julia and gives in to the fear that the party wants him to. The severe torture causes Winston to give into fear, just like how the party gives into the fear in order to justify their actions against the people of Oceania. Winston screams for the rats to gnaw at Julia's face rather than his own, showing that he has no genuine love towards her and that their relationship might be just another notch of rebellion against the party. Bradley won. Orwell alludes to the fact that Winston is only involved with Julia as a form of rebellion because he ends up betraying her and his relationship out of fear and for self-preservation. This is similar to the way the party manipulates the people of Oceania into thinking they are protecting them when they are actually just trying to gain power. The regulations they put on people are made out of fear that the citizens may realize their ill intentions and try and act out, which equals the party losing all its power, aka its biggest fear. Thus, through the betrayal of Julia, Winston exhibits his similarities to the party through fear. Winston demonstrates his final key resemblance to the party through his unwavering love for Big Brother. But Julia replies, Confession is not betrayal. What you say or do doesn't matter. Only feelings matter. It would seem that O'Brien too shares that view. When finally you surrender to us, it must be of your own free will. That is to say, in the novel, it is suggested that torture alone cannot persuade Winston. Brax won. Even though Winston was put in extreme and hard situations, when someone surrenders to the party, it must be of their own free will, demonstrating the fact that Winston is not forced into feeling the way he does about the party or Big Brother. Rather, those feelings come from himself. These feelings also prove that he is very similar to the party, since Julia tells him that it is his choice to hold on to his feelings, and O'Brien tells him it is his choice to choose Big Brother. Both Julia and O'Brien, rebel and loyal party member, embody the same thinking and ideas, and Winston agrees with both of them, showing his loyalty is with the party. Through his actions and choice to love Big Brother over the feelings the party does not condone, Winston's true self is clearly revealed. 2 gin-scented tears trickled down the sides of his nose. But it was all right. Everything was all right. The struggle was finished. He had won the victory over himself. He loved Big Brother. Orwell 376. Winston acknowledges that he won the victory over himself, demonstrating the fact that when he was rebelling and trying to dissociate himself from the party, he created a battle within himself by trying to hide his feelings of love for Big Brother. Through everything he goes through, he is able to see how alike he is to the party and is able to admit that he loved Big Brother. Him loving Big Brother is one of the key characteristics that make him like the rest of the party, because that is the one thing you need to do in order to be a true party member, to truly and deeply and emotionally love Big Brother. Winston's love for Big Brother is the final indication of his genuine resemblance to the party. Winston demonstrates his similarities to the party, as well as Big Brother, as he tries his hardest to differentiate himself from them. It is through Winston's relationship with Julia, his fear, through the numerous torturing methods the party instills on him, and his love for Big Brother, that his resemblance to the party is confirmed. As Winston puts himself in all of these situations, it becomes clear that he cannot hide or control his true feelings towards the party and Big Brother, which are feelings of love. Even though he tries his hardest to rebel against what they stand for, he ends up showing that deep down inside he stands for all those same things. He is not being true to himself when he pretends that he hates the party and Big Brother, along with all of their political and social ideologies. If one is not true to who they are not truthfully their own person. And it is without each person's individuality being radiated every day that the world cannot be truly and fully complete.